Hello, hello, hello. My dogs think that somebody is here now that I am saying hello to everyone. It is Jenna Kutcher, and I am doing a Q&A today all about Pinterest. So I have been getting so many questions, and tonight is the night where my program, the Pinterest Lab, is actually closing. And so I wanted to just kind of take you on a mini training all about Pinterest to just explain it, because I think that a lot of times when we hear about different platforms or we're already overwhelmed in our marketing, we're like, how could I possibly add on another thing? But Pinterest is my secret weapon. It is something that I tell all of my friends about, and it is something that I can't be quiet about because it has absolutely transformed my business, the way that I create content, and the shelf life of that content. So I want to start with a little personal story, and I promise it'll tie in. Last night we went over to my grandpa's house and we were picking raspberries, and he called me the other day and he's like, Jenna, can you come over? We have too many raspberries. And he knows that I love raspberries, especially when I'm pregnant. I crave raspberries. And what's super, super precious is that my grandma tended to and created this garden, and every year she would pick raspberries and then make raspberry jam for all of us for Christmas. And when she passed away, my grandpa took it upon himself to learn how to garden, to keep that legacy alive. And instead of creating jam, he just invites all of the grandkids over to pick raspberries. And so what do raspberries have to do with Pinterest? Well, Drew and I were laughing because we got these 3 big cartons of raspberries. And I was like, if we would have bought this at Whole Foods, this would have been like $30, $40 of raspberries. And what's crazy about raspberries is they don't last a long time, right? I mean, 1, we eat them, but 2, they kind of go bad. And so it makes me think about shelf life. And this is what it has to do with Pinterest. When you think about the content that you work so hard to create, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook, they literally have told us that you have about 3 to 5 hours for people to see, engage with, and share that work before it's just buried into the algorithm. So basically, your content is put out to an audience, it's tested. If people respond well, they'll continue sharing that content. But the shelf life is very similar to that of organic raspberries, where it's not very long. Now, Pinterest, on the other hand, gives your content a much longer shelf life. And let me tell you this stat that still blows my mind. On average, a post can perform for 30 to 90 days on Pinterest. Okay? That's 1 month to 3 months as opposed to 3 hours to 5 hours. When you think about how much time and energy you spend on creating content, you want to make sure that you are expanding the lifespan of that content and the chance that people are actually going to see it, engage with it, and take action on it. Like your content, if it's not currently tied to actual tangible results, then I'd hate to tell you, but you're kind of wasting your time. So why Pinterest? Why does it matter? How does it help? So what Pinterest is a lot of times people look at Pinterest as a social media network, right? We kind of group it in with Facebook and Instagram, but Pinterest isn't social media at all. Pinterest actually operates as a modern day Google. It's a search engine. People go on to Pinterest to figure out how to do things, to discover new products, to explore. They use it as this place of not only purchasing. It's been proven that Pinterest users are more likely and ready to purchase than people that go on to Facebook or Instagram because they're there to be entertained. But it's also just a place that you use as a search engine. So when we talk about using Pinterest for your business and you're like, this doesn't actually make any sense, it's really important to first think about Pinterest not as social media. It's not just a place for recipes or outfit inspiration or home decor, but it's a place where you can be found. People are actually searching for your type of work. Like, if you don't believe me, go onto Pinterest and type in a keyword that describes what you do, what your product is, what your service is, what your offer is, and you will find many, 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 many creators already using the platform. It doesn't mean you're too late. It means the more the merrier. Come on, bring your content in. So when we use Pinterest with this idea that it's a search engine, we want to create content that people are searching for. So how does this shift things? One, it shifts things as a creator because you can think in a longer term. When you think about social media, again, that it lives and dies within 24 hours or far less, then you're just kind of posting timely, right? You're like inviting people into the moment now. But when you look at Pinterest, you can create almost this resource library or articles or resources or guides or anything really that people will be searching for that can serve them for weeks, months, even years to come. Literally, we have content on Pinterest that I created years ago that is still driving traffic to my website. So let me connect the dots for you. So a user goes on to Pinterest, they type in how to plan the perfect wedding day schedule. And guess what? I have a blog post to that. And I've used those keywords. Someone goes on to Pinterest, they type that in, they find a graphic that says how to plan your wedding day schedule. They click on it and they go to my blog. Now on my blog, I have already created this content for them. But what's so cool about Pinterest is that Pinterest is connecting viewers, the people that are searching, to content, and is actually wanting to guide them off of the platform to make sure that they're getting valuable content. So unlike social media in the sense of Instagram and Facebook, they don't want people to swipe up. They don't want you to leave the app. They want you to stay on the app. Pinterest's goal is to connect people with the right content. It's created for creators to do well, which is amazing, to see success. And so when you start to look at Pinterest in the sense of like a connection, right? You are creating content that will connect you to people who are searching for it, and you're creating resources or guides or information or inspiration for them. It makes content creation a lot more fun. Now, here's where it gets really, really fun. So many people talk to me and they're like, I don't have time to add another platform. Give me a heart or raise your hand or comment if this is you, where you're like, I'm already burnt out. My marketing is taking up too much time. There's absolutely no way that I could add more to my plate. So many people feel this way. What's really cool is that Pinterest recently went through a redesign. So if you were using Pinterest in the past, there was all these methods that weren't necessarily in favor of creating new, fresh content, right? So the old method was you're going to pin and repin something like 20 times, and you're going to have to pin, 50 times a day to get traction. And the cool thing is that Pinterest recently changed, and we actually have insider information from Pinterest. So that is guiding how we are creating our resources. And so Pinterest gave us this inside information saying Pinterest is going to prioritize fresh new content. And when you hear that, people freak out. They're like, wait, I don't have time to make more content. I can't imagine making more blog posts or opt-ins or freebies or pages or anything like that. And what's so cool is that our method that we teach you can take one single piece of content, which could be an Instagram post, a blog post, a page on your website, a freebie, an opt-in. It could be any piece of content, a TikTok video, an Instagram reel, anything that you can link to, that you have a specific URL to send people to. You can create, using our method, 10 different pins that will promote that one piece of content. Okay, so listen to this. So one of the things that I've learned over the years when speaking to creators is that a lot of creators spend 90% of their time creating and only 10% of their time promoting. They're not actually thinking about like, okay, once I create this thing, how am I going to get results from it a week from now, a month from now, a year from now? But what Pinterest is saying is they're not saying you need to create more content and stay on that hamster wheel. They're saying figure out different ways to promote your content, which is like our secret sauce. Like, we love this. So for every single podcast episode, we create 10 unique pins that will guide Pinterest users to that one episode that will be spread out over weeks and months. We're literally driving traffic to content from months, even years ago, using Pinterest. And so the best part is that we created this system using these templates where we're creating so much content that helps promote what we've worked so hard on. And it takes us just minutes to create that versus the hours it takes to continue to produce brand new content all the time. And so I get so excited about this because Pinterest is really listening to creators, and they're saying, one, we want to connect you. So we want to link to your stuff. We want to send people to your work if you're creating valuable content. Two, we don't want for you to be on this content creation hamster wheel. We want for you to really explore ways to get people connected to that content in a simplistic way that gives your content a longer shelf life and more longevity. But also, when you get people off of Pinterest and onto a platform that you have more control over, whether it be a website, a blog, a landing page, I mean, you can even send Pinterest traffic to your Instagram and grow your Instagram. True story. But when you can send people to these different destinations, you're able to grow all of your channels, but you're also able to serve them at a much higher level. Our biggest objective is not just to get traffic. We get 2 million monthly views on Pinterest, and we spend 1 hour a week doing that. And that's exactly what my course shows you. Literally the 4-step fluff-free process to doing just that, not creating more content, but leveraging content you've already created to promote it in a way that tells Pinterest this is fresh, this is relevant, this is exciting. And so what's amazing is that we're able to drive that traffic, but it doesn't stop there. A lot of course creators, when they teach about Pinterest, they're so fixated on getting people traffic numbers. And I think traffic is awesome, but traffic doesn't pay the bills, right? And so we connect the dots and say, how do we drive traffic? And then how does that traffic lead to actual results? Leads, sales, email subscribers, podcast, YouTube subscribers, readers, listeners. There are so many different ways to actually tie these efforts to true tangible results that can really boost your business. This is why we're like so obsessed with Pinterest. This is like, imagine in 1 hour a week, you can get your content that you work so hard on a longer shelf life. You can connect people and grow your network on different platforms. And you are able to tie all of that work to actual results. Can you do that right now with Instagram? When you post on Instagram, can you tell me exactly what the end result is? Now, here's the thing. I don't hate Instagram. I love Instagram. Like, I teach about Instagram, but Instagram is not meant to be the place where sales happen. It's not necessarily the place where you can tie real results. It's a place where you grow community, where you entertain, where you educate, where you inspire. And so people are using these platforms in the wrong ways, which is why Pinterest is so exciting to me. It's like this untapped resource that we can use as a search engine, get our stuff seen, and connect people to the places where we can really serve them, make a bigger impact, and be an expert. So here's what's really interesting. So with Pinterest, you actually can upload your own pins. Sometimes people don't know that. Now, if you've ever been like a blog reader, like I've been a blog reader for a decade, but if you've ever been a blog reader, you might have seen on the old blog posts where you can scroll down and there's like a little P in the corner and you can click that P, and that P can then take you into Pinterest and you can import a graphic into Pinterest, right? That's the old way. The new way is that as a creator, you get to upload your pins and tell Pinterest, here's where to take people to. And you can take them to anywhere. You can make your pins connect to Instagram. You can make them connect to a Facebook group. You can make them connect to a podcast, a YouTube channel. You can make them connect to your blog, your website, your sales page. You can connect them to your About Me page. Anything that has a unique URL, you can connect and guide people to. Each pin that you bring in, you can connect it to any URL. If you have a shop, you can tie it directly to your products. So what is incredible about this is you're basically building your own resource library, connecting people to your resources, to your products, to drive the actual results. And those pins are going to work for you for the next 30, 60, or 90 days. Now, are you ready to get your mind blown even more? I love this. Adam Mid said, so valuable. Thank you for this. Thank you. Okay, so listen to this. One of the things that I love the most about Pinterest is that you can automate it, okay? Set it and forget it. How many of us love that? I always think about crock-pot meals, and then I'm reminded that like we've used our crock-pot maybe like 3 times since we got married a decade ago. But set it and forget it. So Pinterest actually allows you to schedule out pins. And what they're telling us these days is that if you pin 1 to 2 times, just 1 to 2 new pins a day, if you bring in 1 to 2 new pins a day onto the platform, you are going to get results. That's it. Now, better yet, if you just schedule out 1 to 2 pins a day, which would be 7 to 14 pins a week, you can drive massive amounts of traffic to any of the places that you want people to land. What's so cool about this is that if you take our system and you say, okay, I have one piece of content, I'm going to design 10 different pins. They can look different. They can have graphics. They could have quotes. They could have titles. They could have subheadlines. They could call out different segments of your audience. You can make all of these designs in Canva. That's where we do it. I love Canva. You can download them, start scheduling them into Pinterest, just 1 to 2 pins a day. You are going to see massive, and I mean massive results. One of my students just said, she said, oh my gosh, I watched Jenna's webinar. I learned about this. I started implementing just 1 to 2 pins a day. I have already 10x'd my traffic using this platform, and I haven't even dove into the program yet, right? This is just taking this information. So imagine if you take this information and you partner it with our actual strategy, what that could look like for you. It's actually bananas. So the other part that I love about our method and how to learn it is that what I've learned is that a lot of people overcomplicate things. And if I'm telling you that you can get results on Pinterest in under an hour a week, I'm not going to make you a course that's going to take 20 hours to get through. I'm not going to make you a 50 module course that you're never going to complete. So our course takes 4 hours to take. That's it. You can learn everything that we've done to get 2 million monthly views. You can literally watch how we do our own workflow. You can understand how we take these templates, how we think about our content. And the best part is that you can get started today for just $39. If you go to the PinterestLab.com before midnight tonight, you can take advantage and look at what our system is, and you can join knowing that you could literally take this program in a day, in a weekend, or you could take it really slowly and implement as you go. But what's so incredible and what's so important that a lot of people miss is that you have to set up your profile the right way. You have to figure out how to create the right types of pins to get the right traction. You have to understand how to actually use a search engine and think in terms of search engine optimization. Nadine Olia says, where do I check the course out? If you go to the PinterestLab.com, thepinterestlab.com, PINTEREST, like interest with a P, that's where you can join. Again, you can get started today for just $39. But this course is so amazing. I was telling Drew about this the other night because one of my friends was texting me and he's like, okay, I saw one of your ads and I totally thought this program was going to be like $500 to $1,000 and it is so affordable. I'm buying it for my team. And he said, you need to raise your prices. And I said, well, you know, our content is only 4 hours. And that's something I'm really proud of because we don't want to overcomplicate it. We don't want to take up more time for you to actually get results. We want to get you going. Like we want you to start getting results in the next 7 days. And so he was telling me, he's like, you need to raise your price. And I was telling Drew last night, I was like, you know, the content isn't super long, but the end result is so worth it. We absolutely should, and we are planning on charging more in the future because of the success that we see. We've led thousands of students through this system. It is so fluff free. It is so to the point, step by step by step. And so we were just laughing because I was telling Drew that, and he's like, raise your price. What are you doing? But I love that it's accessible, and I love that it's a quick course that can actually get you just really great results right away. And the cool thing is too, and I see my team on here, we update this program to match the platform. So all of our strategies are backed by Pinterest itself. We have insider scoop. We have someone from Pinterest who is reviewing our content to make sure this is totally aligned with how they want us to use the platform. And we are updating it as the platform changes. Platforms change all the time. So the course is the most current way to be using Pinterest. So if you've tried to use Pinterest in the past and you didn't get results, guess what? Pinterest recently changed and we updated the program to match those changes. And the good thing is when you join, you get all of the future updates as well. It's something that is just so incredible. The $39 is a payment plan. The total cost if you want to do a one-time payment is $197. That's it. A one-time payment of $197. You have this course for as long as you need it. It is updated as the platform updates, and it teaches you this exact system. Now, comment in any questions that you might have because I would love to take some time to answer them. One of the questions that I saw pop up is that someone asked, can this work if you don't have a website? And absolutely. So here's what we found a lot of students do. So a lot of students dive into the Pinterest lab and use it as a place to do and conduct research. So our first module is all about strategizing, figuring out your plan. What's going to make this most sense for you and who is your ideal client that you want to reach? Then we kind of dive into like how to actually implement. How are you going to create your pins? How does it work to upload? How do you use your keywords strategically? All of that kind of stuff. We also have automation and analysis. So one of the things that I think people get wrong is they see the strategy, they start to implement it, but they don't know how to actually tweak it, right? They don't know how to look at the numbers and say, okay, how is this actually working in terms of driving results? And so with automation and analysis, we teach you, here are the numbers to look at. Here's what the numbers are telling you. A lot of students will dive in when they're in that exploratory phase of starting their business or dreaming up a new offer, and they use that data to guide them into creating the right offers that people are actually willing to invest in. Now, the other thing that we use Pinterest for, which is like one of the biggest hacks, is that Pinterest is the number one way that we can help grow our email list organically. So we are guiding people off of the platform and then using it to grow our email list. And so it's an amazing place to grow your email list. And if you use something like Flowdesk, which we love, you can have landing pages. You can send your pins right to those landing pages and grow your email list. Okay, I saw a question that said, let's see here. I just saw a really good question. Someone asked, does this work for products? Oh my gosh. Okay. So if you are an affiliate or you have your own products, whether they're digital or physical, Pinterest is a marketplace. People go on there searching for actual products. The other day I was on there looking for a dresser for Coco's bedroom, and I'm like typing in like cane dresser, and I'm ready to buy, like credit cards right next to me. Actually, I have the number memorized, ready to go. Like people are going on there to discover and to purchase. And so if you have any sort of product, you can make so many different pins showcasing your products. You can use so many different search terms to get your products found, and know that it is statistically shown that Pinterest users are more ready and willing to spend money. They are on there to discover, and they go on there in a place, in a way to make sure that they can collect data and information needed to make purchasing decisions. Another question, does it work for service-based businesses? So when I first started using Pinterest, I was a wedding photographer. I did not have my podcast. I did not have digital courses, nothing. I was a wedding photographer in Wisconsin, meaning I was a geographically based business looking to book people near my geographic area. We started developing this system back when I was a photographer. So I would use keywords and search terms that would help people to find me, like best Wisconsin wedding venues, how to plan your Wisconsin wedding day timeline, best times of year to take Wisconsin photos, Milwaukee wedding photographer, Madison wedding photographer, Delafield wedding photographer. We use Pinterest as a search engine, just as people would go onto Google and type in best Wisconsin wedding photographers. They're going onto Pinterest, and the best part is that Pinterest is filled with visual inspiration, which can work really well for service providers. So don't ever discount Pinterest because you run a geographic-based business. Even if you have a brick and mortar, people use Pinterest to plan their travel. We created, just for fun to support our local economies, Duluth travel guide, a Grand Marais travel guide. Those do so well on Pinterest, and they help promote local businesses. And so local businesses can absolutely thrive on Pinterest. So don't discount it in that way. Let me see here. What else? Oh, Lindsay Williams. Hi, Lindsay Williams. She's one of my amazing students. She said, the Pinterest lab is amazing, worth every penny. Jenna shows you exactly what to do, and it has saved me so much time. Thank you, Lindsay. Okay, let's see here. Oh, so Claudia Calvin is one of my amazing students. We are actually messaging back and forth. And she's in a totally different country. And she said it can be complemented with your content creation course too. So I am just so passionate that what you're working on, what you create for your business, is moving the needle for you. I am so tired of entrepreneurs exhausting themselves creating things that aren't actually making a difference in their business, that aren't actually, making results for them. And so we teach all about content. Okay, so here we got some questions here. Okay, one is this. I have no following. Will this help me? So one thing that's super interesting is that Pinterest can actually help you grow your Instagram following, your Facebook group, your TikTok, your podcast, your YouTube. So like I said, you can actually link any pins that you're bringing into the platform to any URLs. So we actually connect all of my Instagram posts. We post them onto Pinterest as pins, and we lead them back to my Instagram. And that's a way you can grow your Instagram profile. So if you are starting from ground zero, absolutely. But here's the other thing that's amazing about Pinterest, and I think it's just such a breath of fresh air, is that you do not have to have a lot of followers on Pinterest to be successful. It is not a platform where followers trump everything. And here's why. When someone goes onto Pinterest, uses it as a search engine, they are connecting your content to people. So people will see your content if it follows what they're searching for, regardless of if they follow you or not, right? So it's the only platform right now, besides using like the explore page or the discover page, that people can find you even if they're not following you, and then they can follow you. But it's a place where followers don't necessarily matter. Relevant content matters more. And I think that's just such a relief, because for so many platforms, it's like this rat race to get more followers. But I think what's so cool about it is that one, it can help you grow your following, but two, again, as a search engine, it's not necessarily set up to be a place where you have to grow your followers to get seen. Okay, let me find another question in here. Okay, so this question is, it says, I am terrible at anything design related. Where do you design your pin graphics? So we design our pin graphics in Canva. And spoiler alert, if you join the course before midnight, we give you our top 10 converting pin templates that are tried, true, and tested as a Canva template, where you can literally take our exact system and do that. I'm not supposed to tell you that, but I did, so sorry, team. We want you to be able to get templates that will help you. And team, make sure that we turn that on so that everyone can get that, because sometimes I change my mind last minute. But we want to make sure that you get connected with the templates that can help you. You do not have to be a designer to be great at designing pin templates. And also Canva has incredible resources that set you up with beautiful designs that make you feel like a graphic designer, even if you are not one. And so our system is literally like plug and play. You take your piece of content, you add new pins, and you get uploading and automating, and that can help for you to drive a massive strategy. Okay, let's see here. How much has Pinterest changed since you started using it? So when I started using Pinterest, I used it as a wedding photographer. So I used it in the service-based business, and it was more of a place where people just collected inspiration. People didn't necessarily use it as much of a search engine, more as like an image inspiration place. But nowadays, when you think about what you go onto Pinterest looking for, you type in like healthy chicken recipes or maternity dresses for summer. You type in how to market your business on Pinterest, things like that. Heidi says, do you use it for VRBO or Airbnb? Absolutely. And we create resources like 10 best beaches in Hawaii, 5 restaurants that you have to go on Maui. And then that connects people again to our properties. Awesome. Pulpo Creation says, bought the course yesterday. So excited to dive in. Okay. So Victoria Langdon just said, I am not at a place where I can pay for Tailwind, which is a Pinterest automation tool. Will this course work for manual pinning? So we teach automation strategies that cost $0 inside of the app. And then we also teach, if you have the ability and you want to create more robust automations, we teach how to do that in Tailwind, which is a monthly subscription. But we teach both methods. So free, totally free. You can do Canva for free. You can do everything for free. And then we also teach like the upgraded option if you're ready to, or if you are getting enough traffic to take that to the next level. Let's see here. As it updates, well, we have access to those updates. Absolutely. So all of our students get updates every single time that we make them. And we send out an email anytime there are changes about that. Realtors. Yes, realtors. Oh my gosh. I was just talking to my team. We love real estate on my team. We love real estate. And the market is so crazy right now. There are so many people searching for, should I sell my home? What should I do before I sell my home? How to stage your home for better pictures. You can create content that helps connect people to you, where you are setting yourself up as an expert before they're even ready to buy or sell, where you are getting them on your email list, you're serving them, you're sending them updates. You can also upload any individual photos of actual real estate listings, like if you have a live listing. But what we found is that Pinterest really supports that long game approach, where you are educating, you're serving people, you're showing up in their lives before they're even ready, so that when the time comes, you're the first person that's top of mind. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Pinterest. When I signed up, you used to have to be invited. It was so elite. I felt so special. That is when I signed up as well. Okay, so we will close this off soon. I just want to say, Pinterest has been an absolute game changer in my life and in my business. It is the number one way we organically drive traffic. It takes under an hour a week for this strategy to work. And tonight at midnight, our course is closing, the Pinterest Lab. It is a 4-step, fluff-free system for driving traffic using Pinterest in under an hour a week. We equip you with everything you need to set up your profile right, to understand how to use it as a search engine, to tie it to your products, your services, or your offers, to get people to see them, purchase them, and become a part of your community. We also use it to leverage other platforms to grow all the places that we show up online and get our content that longer shelf life, so that we can create with the intention and with knowing that our content is going to be working for us long after the algorithm deems it good or not worthy. We can get results from Pinterest for weeks and months to come. And I think that is just so incredible. So all you have to do is go to thepinterestlab.com. You can get started today for $39 on the payment plan, or you can do a one-time payment of $197. The doors close at midnight. So I want to just make sure you understand how Pinterest works, why it works. And if anything, just take the content that I just shared and get to work. If you can just upload 1 to 2 pins a day and provide relevant, unique content to Pinterest, you are going to see results. But if you can take my system and make it robust and automate it and analyze it, man, you can make a huge difference in your life and business. And that is what I want for you. So I hope that this little Pinterest bootcamp was helpful. I hope it was beneficial, but I mostly just hope that I see you inside of the Pinterest Lab, so that we can work on our Pinterest game together to grow our traffic, to serve more people, to make a bigger difference, but also to drive bigger results in our business. So if you have any questions, please email support@jennakutcher.com. We also have a chat option available at thepinterestlab.com that you can chat with someone on my team, either myself or someone on my team. And again, I just hope you have a great day. But I really, really hope to see you on Pinterest soon, so that we can celebrate and drive traffic and make a difference. I'll talk to you guys